गिरिवरधारी यशोदानन्दना व्रज जनरञ्जना यशोदानन्दना व्रज जनरञ्जना यमुनातीरा वनचारी यमुनातीरा वनचारी जय राधमाधव कुञ्ज विहारी Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Nitai Gaura Prema Om Ajnanatirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurube Namaha. I was born in the darkest of ignorance, but my spiritual master opened my eyes with the torchlight of knowledge. Therefore I offer my respectful obeisances at his lotus feet. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Tinamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschachade Satarine Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sri Vas Adi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Yes. So there's a lot that has been going on in the world and in individual lives and internally for each and every one of us. So I thought we'll discuss something that's a little more practical, that can give us some tools to help us with situations in life that are difficult to manage. In the vision of the pure devotee, Krishna is always present. Eko pyayasti jagadanda koti. In every atom, Krishna is manifest. In every single atom. So in this room, how many atoms? We leave that to Isaiah to figure out. Yes. So in every atom, the Lord is present. In his anu, in his minute form. And then as Mahavishnu, this is Vishnu Mandir, all of this is contained within his transcendental body. So you can see from the minute from the micro to the macro, in all levels of existence, there is no place that the Lord does not reside. Anand Prabhu was telling me just now, he went to Ahovalam, and we know that place in Ahovalam, Jwala Nrsimha. When you go up to halfway, then that is the Ugra Nrsimha temple. Then there's a pathway that you have to take walking. And if you look down, Swaha. Helila after that. You just, nothing they'll find of you. So you just got to keep your focus straight. And you walk up to the waterfall, and then you come to Raktakund, where the water is red because there's a red fungus in the water, algae. And then you walk under that waterfall, and then you come up to Jwala Nrsimha. And this Jwala Nrsimha is the place where it's the doorstep of Hiranyakashipu's palace. It's right on that step there. And the Ugra Stamba, from there you can see Ugra Stamba very clear. So Ugra Stamba was the pillar from which Narasimhadev came out. But the place he was killed was on the doorstep. You remember the boons given by Brahma? Not inside, not outside, not up, not down, not day, not night. All these boons were, Hiranyakashipu thought he had it all checked. If it's not day, it must be night. He doesn't know about twilight. Which is the Sandhya. In Sanskrit it's called the Sandhya, the meeting between day and night. Then if it's not inside, it must be outside. No, if it's the doorstep, then is a doorstep inside or outside? It's neither. It is what it is. Yeah. So, and then not up, not down. So he had him on his lap, and that was not up, not down. So many like that. And then when I went to Pavana Nrsimha, we found one more. That in the month, we follow the lunar calendar. The solar calendar is followed. Vedic culture follows the lunar calendar. And that creates an extra month after 3 years called the Purushottam month, yes. So Hiranyakashipu also put that one inside there also. No, none of the time periods of the year. No 12 months. But he forgot about this one, 13th month. And in that Purushottam month, this was when Narasimhadev. So these challenges, I was saying, challenges that we have, we as devotees, years are going by. Paramatma Prabhu, when I was a student, he was in university with me. That's where, and then later on, as we graduated, then we met Isaiah and other devotees. And but just see how many years have gone by. So years have definitely gone by, but life, according to Bhagavad Gita, has to be understood for what it is. We have to see how practically to deal with it. Arjuna had the same problem. He wanted to run away. Remember, he was telling Krishna, no, I can't fight here. Look at who is here. And he lost his composure. And he wanted to run away. And Krishna told him, no, Arjun. Ubayor senayor madhye. Take this chariot into the center. This is Krishna. For a devotee, he comes right into the center of your life, where the problems are the most strongest. Put the chariot there. That is Krishna. Park the chariot right there where you doubt the most, where you feel the most vulnerable. And then he turns to Arjuna, and he can see this Arjuna is completely flabbergasted, doesn't know how to deal with life at that time. He's got the skills, he's got the knowledge, he's a commander, he's a warrior, he's a great warrior. But at that moment, his mind got the better of him. And Chanchala hi manasa Krishna pramadam bhalavadridam tasyaham nigraham manye vayu evacha duskaram. Arjun, you learn to understand this mind, because it can make you or break you, and it can really break you. In today's world, there's a lot of people who just don't know how to deal with their mind. And if you don't know how to deal with your mind, there's no way you can practice yoga. It's impossible. The process of the yogic praxis in all levels of yoga requires the mind as your friend. So religiosity, spirituality is almost impossible without the favorable assistance of the mind. So a lot of the 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita is teaching one how to deal with the mind, how to deal with the situations where the mind will become either rebellious, or it could be reactive in so many different ways. And many parts of our life, as we deal with life as it comes to us, if we only learned how to use the mind as a friend, it will be so much less problematic. You agree with me? Yes. If we learn the skills of how to, it doesn't mean problems won't come. No. Problems will come. But you'll be able to understand it because you have knowledge, and you're able to see the bigger picture. You're able to see Krishna's hand, as today's topic is saying. The difficulties we have as devotees, we are not able to understand Krishna's hand. When Krishna appears, he can come in any form that he, like Narasimhadev we were talking, huh? He can take half lion, half man, something that's never been seen before. Even Hiranyakashipu was looking at this and said, "Ye to kya hai? Huh? What is this? It is not it looks like a lion, like an animal, but it also looks like human. How can that be?" He never thought on that level of existence. But the Lord, being the Supreme Creator, can create anything. The scientists in London, they were asking Srila Prabhupada, logicians, logicians now, they spend many years and trying to prove there is no God, like Hiranyakashipu and that kind of mentality. So they asked Srila Prabhupada, Swamiji, can God create a mountain that he cannot lift? What do you think? Can he create something that he cannot lift? Because if he cannot lift it, then how can he be omnipotent, all-powerful? And at the same time now, if he can lift it, then how will that work? So Prabhupada said, yes, God can create a mountain that he cannot lift, but then he'll lift it. So that the logician was, okay, how to answer that now? To come back from that. They also asked Prabhupada, that if God exists, prove him to me, show him here in my hand, I want to see. Show him to me. You are a great sadhu, you came from India, so you must have seen God there in India. And how can you prove to me that God is here around me? So Prabhupada said to that professor, he says, you're a professor, right? He said, yes. I'm teaching as a professor. So he said, do you have intelligence? Sure. And that to a professor is like a double slap. And he said, well, I think I kind of do have, how to answer that kind of a question? I think I have intelligence. So Prabhupada says, if you have intelligence, put it in my hand here, I want to see it. This is logic of, Srila Prabhupada's wit was on another level. Put it in my hand, I want to see it. Now the professor was, okay Swamiji, you give your class, it's okay. When you meet somebody like that, because Prabhupada's in one of the branches of Veda is Nyaya, logic. You study. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was a great logician, and they would debate like this in Mayapur, Navadvip at that time in the early years. They would debate. So many times this question will come up: is God there? Does God exist? So the thing is, it's an experience that the devotee is having. How do you make that empiric so that a scientist can understand? It's not the fault of the devotee. He's experiencing it. Just like when a person is in love or a mother has a child, the joy that she is feeling, she's experiencing. You can only witness. You can't experience that. You can only see it. From seeing that and the reaction of that, you can get a semblance of what that mother is feeling for that baby. What that boy is feeling for that girl, what that girl is feeling for that. You can just see it only. You cannot experience it. So it's a subjective thing. But because it's a topical issue, then a scientist wants us to prove now. Prove now, I want to see where is your God. And Hiranyakashipu did the same thing. So we try to the best we can to share knowledge, but if they will do the experiment, and what is the experiment? Practice devotional service, even for a month. There was that old video of Tamal Krishna Maharaj, where he was doing a video, I think it was in Fiji, and he was speaking about worship and demigods and all of that. And he was giving their value. It's not that they're not valuable, they have their place. And he was explaining that according to Vedas. And then he said, if you practice Krishna consciousness, if you chant these 16 rounds of Hare Krishna mantra, and if you follow the 4 regulator principles, within 1 month, if you don't find any change in your life, I'll give you $10,000. Not me, Maharaj told me. Yeah. just now they'll, okay, Prabhu, check there though. Yes, where it is. Yes, I'll give you Zimbabwean check. Take a whole barrel of dollars, and you can buy 1 loaf bread. Yes. So we try to share knowledge because our experience with Krishna is personal. But we also have philosophy that synergizes those experiences. So it's not just a mental speculation, it's substantiated through scripture. That if you perform this, you will have that kind of experience, like that. So in our lives, we are struggling to see how Krishna is present, especially if in the difficulties of life, in the challenges and difficulties of life. In the good times of life, it's much more easier It's easy just to say, oh, God is great, and apply gratitude, which is also a good thing. It's a very good thing. But the difficulty comes when we're having challenges, when there's problems, when there's health issues, when there's family issues, when there's issues with children, when there's issues with spouse, with all the things that go with life, job, so many aspects of life. So in that environment now, it requires a little more perception to see Krishna's hand. So that's what I wanted to share with all of us today as a reminder that there can be no time when Krishna is not present. It's just that our lack of knowledge prevents us from seeing how he is present. And the typical example of that in the Mahabharata was that of Draupadi. You know Draupadi? She's the wife of the Pandavas, yes. So in that environment, as Yudhishthira was gambling all the kingdom away, he got caught up in that cycle of gambling. And he was gambling the whole kingdom away. Eventually he gambled everything away. And the only possession that was left was Draupadi. And to humiliate the Pandavas, they asked for her. And he couldn't say no, because by Kshatriya code, you will be a weak king if you try to run away from a fight or a challenge. And then Draupadi was brought forward. And she's a great devotee of Krishna. Her name is even Krishna. Her name is Krishna. So in that situation, she could understand what was going on. And she understood that although my 5 husbands are here in front of me, Bhishma Dev is in front of me, all the great Kurus are there in front, none of them can help me at this time. So who can I turn to? And then she called out to Govinda, Krishna. And at that time, just like us, she was expecting what? Krishna to appear, or some hand to appear, or some physical feature of Krishna to appear. But that didn't happen. And because she didn't have the knowledge of that, she couldn't see what was happening, how Krishna was right there all the time. So we know Krishna comes as boar incarnation, the transcendental boar. He comes as fish incarnation, the transcendental fish. But here Krishna came. He comes as half lion, half man. Here he came as sari, sari incarnation, cloth. It's not even sentient. Normally you would expect, like, just like in the Bible, we know God appeared to Moses as the burning bush. So it's not a sentient representation of God the way we would relate, but it was directly. He could recognize the divinity in that presence, in that incarnation as fire. Just like that, he also came as cloth to Draupadi. But she could not understand, because she was expecting a sentient being to be present there and take over the situation. But Krishna, he had other ideas, he had other plans. And as Dushashan started to pull on her sari, he even got tired. So much of cloth is coming. How is this happening? Impossible to conceive of it. The inconceivable nature of God, of Krishna. So neither could anyone there conceive of Krishna, neither could Draupadi conceive of Krishna. Because to conceive Krishna, you need devotion. And at that point, when one is vulnerable, one's devotion can also be compromised. You see that in your life? That when you are vulnerable and there's a big issue at hand, no matter how great a devotee you are, you will feel something that says, is God really here? Why did this happen to me? We know the recent tragedy in Gujarat, Ahmedabad. Yes, so many lives was lost in an instant. Some people were planning their journey, some were emigrating to London. First trip going to stay permanently. Did you see that TikTok video of the Bhagavad Gita?
Yes.
You saw that? Yeah. So somebody in their heart carried Gita. So if you carry Gita like that, Gita will carry you across the ocean of birth and death. For sure, that person who carried that Bhagavad Gita, how is it? Bhagavad Gita is made of paper, right? And aeroplane is made of steel. Steel is burning and Bhagavad Gita nothing. This is inconceivable nature of Krishna. This is what I am saying. If you understand that Krishna can make steel burn like paper and he can make paper become like steel. This is God. So for us as devotees, when we have those moments in life where we're trying to deal with life as it's coming head on, it's not an easy thing to stop. You can't stop it because it's called the flow of life. But if you can understand it, then you can maneuver through. Just like when you're driving on the road, you know, in India, how many been to India? Oh, okay. All Indians. That's an old South African joke. The Maharajas used to say in 10 campaign days. Yeah. So in India, for every one Indian, there's 2 potholes on the roads. So it is, you just know how this road is going to be. And if you really going to some places, no road only is there. You just have to find which way. Aa gaya hai, chalo. Just aa gaya hai. You go, carry on. You don't know left, right, you turn by the mango tree, by the guava tree, you don't know where to turn. Roads are like that. But just before you get to that intersection, there'll be a board telling you, road works ahead. So you can understand. If there's road works ahead, I can expect there to be challenge there, right? Difficulty. So if I go slow, and if I go cautiously, I'm able to maneuver through. I can probably see there's a big ditch here, I can come this way. Oh, there's a rock there, okay, let me move slowly here. I can make it manageable rather than just going, driving straight through. So this is how life should be. If you can observe, if you learn the art of pacifying the mind during those times, then yes, there's a ditch in front, but okay, there's also a little right turn here. Yes, there's a rock in front, but hey, there's a little gully here. Krishna will always give something. He'll always show you, see, yes, big issue in front, but chota gully hai na. You can take this road and little bumpy, okay, but not as bad as the main road, and then you can easily go through. It's not that you're not experiencing any difficulty, but it's minimized. Why? Because you're seeing Krishna's hand. So don't always look for the incident where the miraculous thing happens. Where, it's like a miracle. The boss, all of a sudden, I don't know, he's in such a good mood, he gave me a promotion. All of a sudden, my health, totally, cancer is gone. All of a sudden, my son who was so rebellious is now coming to the ashram. How are these things happening? So we would ideally like that, but not all stories are Cinderella stories, when we're growing up. Yeah, some stories, it's magical, but you need a little knowledge to see what Krishna is doing, because ultimately he's preparing our journey back to Godhead. Life just doesn't start with birth and ends with death. If it was that simple, and where's the proof of that? Right here on your hand. There's two parts to your hand, your fingers and your hand. This part is bio-coded, that even if you go to the bank, you can't go like without scanning your thumbprint. You see that? Your fingers are biologically coded. How is that? Who has done that? Each and every person, each and every species and specimen. There was even studies shown that zebras have stripes that are, each one is different. Who is trying to recognize individuality at that level? So even if that's happening on the animal species, it's happening in the human form, then how rare is human form of life where one can now start inquiring? Because there are many levels of human form, and not all of them have the faculty to inquire into Atato Brahma Jignasa. So we have that opportunity. There are many are born retarded, mentally disabled, physically disabled, even mentally challenged, even just for necessities of life, like food, shelter. There are people that don't have those things. How to tell that person, take the japa mala and chant, don't worry, some roof will grow on over your head. It won't happen that way. That person's, in that lifetime, it's very difficult for them to be God conscious. And I'm sure everybody in this room doesn't have those problems of survival, where there's no food, water, shelter, basic necessities. So until those things are being provided, so the Lord has provided up to that point for us in whichever way, capacity and size, but He's provided. Now that those things are peaceful, now we can inquire. Atato Brahma Jignasa. What is the higher goal of this human birth? And the proof of that is the second part of the hand. That each one has these markings and everyone has different markings. And according to Vedic astrology, it's coming from your past karma. This is your past karma in one map. Quick map on your hand. How this is so? It can't be just random, because if it was random, there may be a chance that there'll be two of the same. There's no two of the same. Even identical twins don't have, you can differentiate genetically. Some differentiation is possible. How is that so? Who is trying to identify us on such a level? So if that is there, this is proof that if we lived one life, we lived many lives. And if we lived many lives, then what are we doing with the opportunity we have in this life? Bhaja hure mana Shri Nandanandana Abhaya Charanara Vindore Durlabamanava Janama Satsange Durlabamanava Janama Satsange Tarawe Bhava Sindhure. This bhajan is saying, Bhaja hure mana, oh mind, just remember Nandanandan, Krishna. Bhaja hure mana. Please chant the names of Krishna. Why? Durlabamanava janama satsange. To get this human form of life, durlabha, is so difficult. We have no idea what has to happen. Even Darwin proved that. How many species of life you have to go through? Padma Purana says 8,400,000 species. And then you come to human form. And then what is the chance that you don't have shelter, you don't have food because karma is so bad, you don't have water, all these things, you don't have lights, ESCOM puts it off. You have all these issues going on. But how to come to the point then? Tarau he bhava sindhure. How to come to the point where the mind is peaceful enough to say, take the japamala and chant Krishna's name. When will that happen? When will that happen if that mind is so disturbed? So therefore, if we know how to see, just like Draupadi couldn't understand that Krishna is there, she was looking for a person, but he came as Sari. How do you know what the Lord has prevented in the front by giving you some small distraction right now? What he has prevented happening to you in the front? There's that nice saying, footsteps in the sand. You know that beautiful story of two footprints going, the Lord and the devotee. And whenever there was trouble, there was only one set of footprints. And devotee is saying, whenever there's trouble, the Lord runs away and leaves me alone. See, one set of footprint. And then when he had knowledge, he understood, the Lord was carrying me at that time. The Lord was carrying. So just like that, if we can understanding Krishna's hand means understanding his intention. Please repeat after me. Understanding Krishna's hand means understanding Krishna's intention. Again, means understanding Krishna's intention. Yes. What is his intention for me? So when you pray in the morning, add this word in. My Lord, what is your intention for me? If I can understand your intention, I can see your hand. I can see, Queen Kunti prays, my Lord, you are shrouded by the illusionary energy. Those who cannot see, they pasyante na pasyami. They're looking but they cannot see. Because sight requires knowledge. Mother taught us, this is bottle, this is mic, this is table, this is chair. If somebody didn't teach that and you're looking, you are seeing but you're not understanding. That's why in English they also say, do you see? Means do you understand? You actually need knowledge to see. So if you need knowledge to see, what level of knowledge you need to see God? Yes. You also need knowledge to see God. If you need knowledge to see material things, don't you think you need knowledge to see God? So that is available in Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam. If you read these great literatures, great saints. I was just talking to a devotee today. In the first canto of Bhagavatam, the sages were ready to do 1,000-year sacrifice to help humanity. That's the level of compassion those great sages had. What level of compassion? So I was working it out that if you sit for 1,000 years, how is that even possible? I said, even 1,000 seconds, how long will that take? So I did a quick calculation, and 1,000 seconds takes 17.5 minutes. 1,000 seconds, 17 odd minutes. And even at that, we are already restless, we're yawning and waiting for when's the prasadam and what time, Prabhu, come on. Yes, so even 17 minutes is so difficult. What to speak, what level of compassion and tolerance those personalities had to sit 1,000 years for the benefit of others. Not for themselves, for the benefit of others. 1,000 years they were ready to sit. So, when we understand intention, we'll end with this little esoteric part of Gaudiya Vaishnavism that I'd like to share with you. So, one of the ways we understand in Gaudiya tradition, most other traditions, they are happy to be blissful and connected with the joy aspect of God, which is totally good, especially the soul has never connected with God for so long, it's stuck in the material world. So finally, when samsara dhava, nalalidha loka, finally that cycle is broken, the joy of connecting back where the soul connects with the super soul in service. That joy of that is unimaginable, unlimited bounds of delight and joy. So most religious traditions glorify that, and that's a beautiful description. But in Gaudiya Vaishnavism, there is an aspect of divinity which is in separation, where you have connected with God, but because the nature of love is also familiarity, just like anything. So that can also, you can become familiar unless there's a bit of separation. In separation, you can judge then how much of love you actually had. Because if you had nothing, you will feel nothing. But if you had something, you will feel something. So just like that, that is how it is observed. So in the practice of life, when the difficulties are coming our way, it's a nice opportunity to think in this light that if I can't deal with material issues that are bombarding me and I'm finding it difficult to deal with that as pain or emotional trauma or pain, then how will I deal or how will I practice for that pain when I'm separated from Krishna? You see the purpose of suffering now? It's a very esoteric point, but it brings us to the enlightenment, to the opening of the heart, that as much as it is difficult to deal with suffering now, it is a practice stage in that moment when we are separated from Krishna in love. Because that will be more intense. If you read Chaitanya Charitamrita, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu shows this, the intensity of that experience. Ashru, tears, then romancha, hair standing on it, blood oozing out of the body, out of that deep separation. And just complete divya unmada, complete like madness. You can't imagine that pain when the person is not there anymore. So it's like experiencing death repeatedly. We have some semblance of that when we experience somebody passing on, but then within a short time or some time, we kind of heal from it. This is a continuous experience of that. So if you can't endure some kind of adi atmik, adi bautik, adi devik disturbance that is coming to us on the level of the body, the mind, and the other living entities, then how will we experience something like that? So it gives us, it's hopeful that if we learn to pacify the emotions at that moment, whatever it is, there is nothing that is coming to us that is undeserving, even the good. Remember that. Even the good that is coming to us is deserving. We have done something to get that. Otherwise it can't come on its own. This water that is here today is destined to be here because something I've done so that I can get a drink of water. You can be in a situation, be in India, in Mumbai, in the train and see. Be in the train and see when you're trying to get some water or something, or you're doing parikram in Govardhan, and at that time, just you made it to the water shop, but he's closed. Sorry, Baba, closed for lunch. Just I want one bottle of water. Sorry, now it's closed. Karma, your karma, you haven't done enough so that that person can give you that water at that time. This is just an example. So if we learn tolerance and patience, these two parallel lines help us to deal emotionally with the mind. And if we learn how to talk to the mind in this way, it's okay. I've received good in the past. I know the Lord has good for me. And what is happening now is part of the training or is part of the journey of my soul. It is just part. It's not meant to hurt or whatever is happening it's okay. I've received a lot of good in the past. Just observe this point. In your lives, whatever your situation is, you can probably count the things that have happened bad to you because they are disturbing and affected your comfort. But if I had to tell you, count all the good things that happened in your life, you won't be able to, because it's so much. There's so much of good that has happened, and maybe 5 bad or difficult things that have happened. But that 5 is like, oh Prabhu, you know what happened to me. And then I say, but what happened to you good? Oh, that was last year, Prabhu. Don't bring last year thing here now. Now I'm telling you what's happening now. Oh. If you only know what I'm going through. Yes. So if you're going through something, go through it. Don't stop, just keep going through. Yes. So Krishna's hand. If we learn how to see Krishna's blessing, not everything that will appear coming our way will actually be ours. There's many stories like that where you carrying something and chori kiya. Somebody stole it, or it broke. There was that famous one, this boy, the new mobile phone, iPhone. He saved his money, bought the phone. He got the phone, he's just unboxing in front of his friends. It fell. It wasn't meant for you. It wasn't meant for you. So to see maturely, to able to say, Krishna, it came in the hand, but it wasn't meant to stay in the hand. That requires a lot of maturity. Just like that, whatever is coming my way, it's okay. Krishna is with me to help me through that. And Queen Kunti prays this. Please repeat after me. Vipada Shanti Taha Sasyat. Vipada Shanti Taha Sasyat. Tatra Tatra Jagat Guru. Bhavato Dharshana Sasyat. Apuna Bhava Dharshana. This is Queen Kunti praying, and she's saying, my Lord, she was a single mother, 5 children, plus daughter-in-law, and every moment in life there was problems. The Kauravas were trying to hurt them, kill them, so many things. But she's praying at the end of the whole Kurukshetra war. She's standing with Krishna before he's going to Dwarka. And she's telling him, my Lord, Vipada Shantu Taha Sasyat. Let these problems come again and again. Can you imagine somebody praying like that?
Sorry, did you make us say that prayer?
Yes. No. But with her blessing though. Right. Yeah, her blessing is quoting that. I don't wish that upon you. Yeah. Oh, thanks for the purport there. Yeah. He's listening attentively. He's just saying, my God, I came here to the class today and now he's giving me double trouble here. Yeah. So Vipada Shantu Tahasasyat. She's a great devotee of Krishna, and she's saying, my Lord, Apuna Bhava Darshanat. Because every moment we had trouble, I'm only realizing now that you were there. Could not see, but I know now that you were there. I'm remembering all of these things and saying it could have been worse, but you've minimized it. I didn't see you directly, but I know you minimized it. Now I can understand. So if you were there every time there was a serious issue like that, which was life-threatening, and now I can see it, then let all these problems come. Because I know you'll be there somehow to help us maneuver through this. And that's where we want to be as devotees. Because we can't prevent what karma was supposed to come. What this line means, I don't know. For me, in my destiny, what it means, I don't know. But I know Krishna is there. If I can know that much, then the intensity of that issue becomes less, because he's standing beside me. He's there with me, helping me cope, helping me understand, helping me see, and helping me go through. Do like this, do like that. Don't do anything. Just wait. Maybe it will take 1 month. Maybe it will take 1 year. For the Pandavas, it took 14 years. If Krishna was so dear to them, why did he not just sort everything out and they don't have to go for 14 years Vanvas, exile? For Sudama, the famous Gujarati devotee, from Porbandar. Look at his life. And wife is saying, Baba, khana nahi hai idhar. Ghar pe khana nahi hai. No food here at home. Go ask your friend. He is a great king, Dwarkadish. Go and ask him for just something. Nothing here to eat even. And if he's a king, then we are praja, he should take care. And what he took? Poha. Poha is like the lowest kind of rice you can get. So he took chipped rice, broken paddy. And he took that also. His wife packed for him, but he's thinking, how can I go empty-handed? At least something I can give Krishna. He took poha and he went, and Krishna, after everything, bathing his feet, because he's Brahman. Then Brahman, how to receive a Brahman in Vedic culture, he did all that. And then Sudama gave the poha, chipped rice. And he took 1 bite. Second bite he was going, Rukmini caught the hand. Don't eat anymore. What? Because what he gave you in 1 bite is all the wealth I have as Lakshmi Devi. I can't give him anything more than that. If you take second bite, I'm bankrupt. This is bhakti. So in life, the point we're trying to make and share today, never feel alone. Always feel Krishna is there. And it's not that he's not. We proved it that he's there. He's in every aspect of creation. Why he won't be there next to you? Just like Hiranyakashipu. Where is your God? Is he there? Is he here? Is he in this pillar? He was everywhere. But because he pointed to pillar, then he said yes. Prahlad said yes, he's in that pillar. So this is how we want to be as devotees. Because life has a way of spinning us upside down. It happens to the best of us. Even Srila Prabhupada's life. Just see his life. He got the instruction in 1922 to preach in English language and print books. He only executed solidly in 1955. 33 years went by. We talk about Prabhupada. But after that point, in 12 years, he went around the planet 14 times. And he visited 24 countries, one of which is South Africa. How fortunate we are. And Prabhuji was just telling me, I even read that 2 days ago. Prabhupada came here to Reservoir Hills. Right here in your doorstep. Right here, we're talking about this now. Just see how fortunate you all are that such a Mahatma came right here. Amazing. So much good is there if we only know how. We only know how to see. And even if we don't know how to see, hold the little finger. If Father is there and you hold, Prabhupada was in the train and he had his son with him, Vrindavan Das. And the conductor was coming by and he said, little boy, where is your ticket? And he was holding the little finger of Prabhupada's hand and he said, he's looking at Father. What he's asking, I don't know also. Because if I'm holding Father's hand, nothing can come. Bhaja Hore Mana Shri Nandanandana Abhaya Charanara Vindore. Abhay Charan. One is fearless at the lotus feet of the Lord. So let's try to take strength from these great teachings of great personalities who've been through much more difficulties than we can ever imagine. Nobody can imagine what the great souls have to go through to just to give the teaching of God or glorify God. There is no great teacher who ever had it easy. The Vaishnav's path laden with thorns is described. So what they went through, what we going through, we just having little bit ups and downs dealing with life. They had to deal with what level of life in order to inspire and in order to give people God consciousness. So if they did it, they're showing us how to do it as well. If we can learn to pacify the mind enough by taking shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord, by taking shelter of the holy name, by taking shelter of Mahaprasad, by taking shelter, Satam Prasangam Mama Virya Samvidu, by taking shelter of the devotees, Satam Prasangam, Satsangs. So many great things will come from that. Prabhuji was just telling me before we started the program how he was they were trying to hire the hall here. So from 14,000 rent, brought it down to 4,000 rent. Because the eagerness to serve is there, the Lord makes arrangement so that it becomes affordable. So many ways like that, if we can see how Krishna's hand is there. I'm looking for physical hand, but he's coming in something else. He's coming as sari, he's coming as in the pillar. So pray for the Lord. My Lord, what is your intention for me? If you pray this way, listen for the answer from the heart. And you'll hear it. He'll tell you, I do like this, go there and try this. And when the mind is pacified, then the voice in the heart becomes audible. Two sounds, from the mind, chatter, and from the heart. Krishna and the soul is in the heart. Both are there. The soul just needs to learn again how to hear carefully. And Krishna will reveal. So thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.